G'day guys, this is Josh. Hope you guys have a great day today. And well, what we're going to do today is, well, engravings. Okay, we're going to discuss what engravings are and basically why you should be focusing on engravings. Okay, they are quite important. Engravings are very, very important in the Lost Ark scene. In fact, it makes your character do more damage, also alters your play style, and makes sure that you're doing the maximum damage as you can do. Now, we're going to check out. First of all, we're going to check out what engraving is. So let's just go to my engravings, for example. And you guys be like, wow, look at the engravings, okay? So basically, look at the engravings here as well. As you can see here, my main is a Deadeye, so Target, Ambushmaster, Grudge, Keybeard. I got some bards as well, so I need Expert, Spiritual Absorption, Raid Captain, Cursed Doll. You can see a lot of DPS. Also got a Berserker as well. You can see here, they got Master's Tenacity and stuff like that as well. You got some class ones as well, which is Mayhem, Berserker's Technique. We're not going to go through, like, which ones you're going to do. We're just going to discuss what engraving is and why it alters your gameplay. So as you can see here, Ambushmaster is basically successful back attacks, does 25% more damage. And Grudge, 20% more damage to the boss or above monsters. And then you got Keen Blunt Weapon, which is 50% plus crit damage, but you have a chance doing minus 20% damage. So you can see there's two kinds of, the engravings always have a good point and then have a negative point. So you can see with Ambushmaster is that the positive point, it doesn't specifically specifies. The positive point is that if you got back attacks, you do 25% more damage. Okay, if your movement has a back attack, you do more damage. Now on the other end of it, the disadvantage isn't specifically stated, but the disadvantage is that if you're not attacking from behind, you don't get no bonus from the engraving. Now some bonuses are a bit different, as you can see here with Grudge. Grudge gives 20% damage to the boss, but you take 20% extra damage for doing so. So generally, you may feel like, oh, the first two levels are pretty bad. They are. You usually try to get Grudge rank 3 if you need Grudge. The reason why is because it evens out. And also, if you're good at dodging mechanics, then the 20% incoming damage bonus is nothing. Okay, so there are like two types of engraving where there's a good thing and a bad thing to it as well. Like, drawback. Similar to Raid Captain. Raid Captain similar to Ambushmaster. You need your basic move speed percentage to be higher to get more damage out of this perk, okay? Because if it isn't, then you don't get so much damage. That's why generally Raid Captain is paired with Spirit Absorption as well, because 50% extra speed means, an extra point of damage in other areas. Now, that's pretty much like most things in a nutshell, like you with the DPS ones, which is the attack bonus at a disadvantage. There's other ones as well with Awakenings, where their cooldown is lowered and you get more usage, which is more for support classes. And also Expert, where it increases, healing and more effectiveness at lower percentages as well, where it's just pure advantage, but more advantage at certain points. Now, there's also another one, Heavy Armor. This is basically used to have supports have higher magic resistance and physical resistance when they go into higher levels of Argos at 1385 or 1370, when they need to be 1400 or 1385 respectively. Okay. Now, there's a lot of other things as well that, increase certain damage, such as, foes with less than 30% and stuff like that, which are pretty decent in a few areas as well, okay? Let's get on to the class ones. So the class ones change how you play a class sometimes, okay? Some classes need max, some classes don't need max. So, for example, the Berserker one's probably the biggest example of a game-changing power, is where basically you will take 65% less damage, your health will be reduced to a quarter, and you have higher attack and movement speed, and you do more damage as the nodes go up. A lot of Berserkers get max this already because it increases their movement speed. It helps out with Raid Captain if they need it, and basically helps out with Master's Tenacity because they get the full bonus of Master's Tenacity forever, and they also they take less damage. Okay, that's pretty much it with the Berserker. Okay, like that's how it changed the mechanic is. It basically allows for a different subset of engravings to be used. That is an engraving. So basically, engravings, what else you can do as well is with the engravings, you can equip the engravings here. So as you can see here, I've equipped 2 engravings, Mayhem. You can equip any finger in here if you want. Okay, so you can put, Raid Captain, Expert. Actually, it's 2 seconds, guys. I forgot my head, my big fat head is in the way. But as you can see here, you can equip the engravings here. Okay, you can see the character screen here. You can equip the engravings very, very easily, and just basically knock them out. Easy as pie, okay? Now let's get on to the next part, which is give me a stone. So you can see here, I've got a stone, Master Tenacity, Contender. This is an alt, by the way, so it's not gonna have all best in slot traits. There's also engraving effects also on your gear as well. So it'll be on your necklace, your earrings, and rings. You need to make sure you be able to create a certain engraving where you have basically, if you're max eye level, this is obviously not max eye level, but if you're max eye level, you want to have 4 times 3 generally as your best in slot. Generally, okay? That doesn't mean you have to. It means that it's recommended to do so, okay? Now, what I'm going to say is that generally 4 times 3 is best in slot. However, for some classes, it may be 3 times best, 3 times 3, and 1 2x and 1 1x. That is the Deadeye, basically, which is Grudge, Keen Blunt Weapon, Ambush Master, Adrenaline 2, Enhanced Weapon 1. The reason why that is because there's no point putting Enhanced Weapon to 3 to only get an extra 10% crit when you can just give Adrenaline and actually get 10% crit with 2 points. So, you know, what's the point? I had an argument with a Paladin about this thing as well, and this Paladin was like trying to flex on me. It was really funny though. Support Paladin had Grudge and Adrenaline, which was very pointless for him. But anyways, I digress. Okay, so you want 3 times 3, or you want at least 4x3 as your end point, okay? If you're doing Argos at 2 times 3 or 3 times 3, or like, you know, some 2s, whatever it is, as long as they're best in slot specs, they're not too bad, okay? And I wouldn't, you know, basically fret too much if that was the case, okay? Because a lot of people have been being elitist and stuff like that, saying that if you're not 3x or 4 3x, you can go away. But I gotta say right now, like, you can still do Argos with 2.3x, 1.2x, and 1.1x. I've done it before as well. It's fairly simple. Now, next up, we're going to go to the Ability Stone Cutter. So basically, you get these Ability Stones, as you can see here. You get to do this in the Facet ability as well. You know, basically, as a bit of a draft. So what you want to do, as you guys can see, my 12 million silver. What you want to do is you want to probably target. You want to probably target specific abilities that you want first with these things. So let's just say, for example, we want Master Brawler. We just target Master Brawler until we get below. We have a really bad RNG. Until we get below 55%, okay? When you get below 55%, you target this one, okay? So this red one here is bad. So if you get more of the red ones, this makes it worse for you, okay? You don't want it to be worse for you. You want it to be better for you. So what you want to do is you want to do these a lower percentage, so they crack and, you know, don't work. And sometimes you get really bad luck, as you can see here, where I'm succeeding multiple 25%ers. But sometimes you get very good luck, and you only get 1 or 2 down here. And then basically after that, you go back up to here and just max it out, basically. Okay, this is only just a draft. Don't really focus on it too much. And then this basically sets up, you know, what sort of engravings you're gonna get from your stone. Realistically, if you got a legendary one, if you do not get at least 6/6, it's probably generally not equipable. And this is the worst part about this sort of thing, is that you're gonna have to continue to refacet it and stuff like that until you get the stats that you want and you get the rolls that you want as well. And that's probably the downside of it as well, where you're gonna need multiple stones that are very good for your class, okay? Because I've gone through, I can tell you right now, I got my Ambush and Adrenaline stone. I had gone through 5 different stones, including an Ambush Master and a Grudge, okay? Then I only got 4 Grudge and 4 Ambush Master, which I was mad about because it's a stone that's worth quite a bit. So just be aware of that as well. Generally, you want to hit 6/6. If you hit any higher, it's a good on ya. If not, don't worry about it, okay? Generally, 6/6 is the average on par, where you can get 4 times 3 pretty easily, okay? As long as all the rest of your accessories give, you know, 2 or 3. Now, your accessories at Legendary will give at least, well, these ones for tier 2 will give 1 and 2. But at tier 3, it'll give 3 points or 2 points. You want to target the 3-point ones, the 3-point options, not the 2-point options. If you can't get the 3-point options because they're too expensive, 2-point options are fine, okay? As long as you'll be able to get, you know, at least 3 engravings up, okay? That are beneficial to your class. But your ideal range is going to be every single accessory has a +3 trait. You can grind this through Chaos Dungeons and other areas, stuff like that as well. You can grind it on your ults if you get your ults to 1370. You know, those are the ideal ranges of what you want to go through. And basically, it's going to be basically RNG, which decides whether you get good engravings or bad engravings, essentially. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the engraving guide. Hope you guys enjoyed the faceted guiding as well. Please use this if you need to do so as well. By the way, with engravings, I'm not going to choose specific ones for you guys. You guys need to do that research yourself on the guides. The respective cast guys have more ideas about it as well. It's probably a lot better to go to those channels to get that information. But this is how engraving works. It's how you're meant to make it work, basically. Is that you want to aim for that 4 times x3 for most classes. Other classes, it's 3 times x3, 1 times x2, 1 times x1. Hope you guys learned a lot, and hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful day. And also like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys.